out to play. The starting field position for the offense is excellent, puts a lot more pressure on the defensive guys.
Yeah, and if the kicker thinks he's lonesome, he's really lonesome after a play like this.
He better hope that he's lonesome, because who's ever standing next to him is probably on the defensive side, and they're none too happy.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Allen now on first down. That's caught. It's Malone. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. They give him a gain of 38.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone.
First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
The evolution of Clay Matthews as a player, it's just one that they're going to end up writing books about. He didn't even start until his senior year at USC. He didn't start in high school. And now he's at all-pro level in the NFL. How about the play he just made there?
He has certainly made a name for himself. William Clay Matthews III. And here's Allen on third down. Eluding the pressure right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards, and it'll be second and very short.
Now, that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block, but the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes, so when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Come on, let's go.
Now Dobbs. Jordan Reed has it. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They'll pitch it out to Bell. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On second down, Dobbs. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. T.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, That means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot, that they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation, allows him to get home.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back here right after this. Gun, Dobbs. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. So on 4th down, they bring on the Michigan man, Matt Wild, to kick it away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. On the crossing route, complete. That's Malone. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Detroit!
Allen going to try and throw on 3rd down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38! Ohio!
On 1st down, Dobbs to throw. Looking long for his tight end. That's caught at the 25. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Flex round!
On 1st and 10, Dobbs. That'll be caught right side by Reed. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Ohio!
Dobbs now on 2nd down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's picked by the linebacker, T.J. Watt. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
A final shot before half for Allen. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And this one is incomplete. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we'll send you across town to our studios here in Orlando and check in with the coach at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll go again with Bell. And, a little spin cycle. Room to run now. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Now after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go. Grand 38.
Here's Bell. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Back to throw Dobbs. He'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a 1st down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, here's Dobbs. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Jonathan Hankins continuing to fight downfield. The big tackle gets him for a loss of 11. The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile.
Here we go. What? 90. What? 90.
Throwing here, Dobbs. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
So after the INT, it's Allen. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the two defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play there for the Buccaneers. And even 50 yards.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Now, Barney, Barney! Detroit! Detroit!
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And he pulls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. In for the score. And the interception by the Bucs D leads to a touchdown. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here's Dobbs to throw. Then he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Now Dobbs, he's going to look deep down the field. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
And now look at him go. And touchdown. Ronald Jones, 82 yards. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness to it? Just getting there and taking off and going. For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes it a 21-10 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
To throw is Dobbs. Flush to his right. Pass incomplete.
So I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Dobbs. And Thomas has it. Still fighting for more. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Dobbs now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Welcome back live to Orlando. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the fourth quarter of play. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Dobbs looking to throw on first down. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And he's going to go down again.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Let's go. What? 90. What? 90.
Here's Dobbs to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. T.J. Watt, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He sets the foot, and he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Sean Davis with a pick, and they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. On 4th down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, 4th down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. DJ Chark, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the interception by the Bucs D leads to a touchdown. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 18 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. He finds an opening past the 40. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know. I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Dobbs is throwing. And his pass is intercepted for the 3rd time today. Picked off at the 18. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent. And now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Lucky 56.
On 1st down, Allen. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Lorenzo Alexander coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Allen. He's going to float this one deep right side. He's got him in. Complete. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38. It's a big play there for the Buccaneers. And even 50 yards.
Right,
so here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Detroit!
now on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Lorenzo Alexander in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. On second down, here's Allen. He's going to fire one deep, middle. This is caught inside the 15. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They give him a gain of 37. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
They get it to him running left. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now. The Bucs on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is third and goal.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Oh, this ball hangs out to the right. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So they'll come away with nothing here. A disappointing result even on a day like this.
And as a kicker in the rain, you've got to slow things down a little bit. Give your holder an extra half second to make sure everything's secure. And here, he might have rushed this one a little, and it winds up no good.
They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And he'll power his way up near the 25. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. Again, it's Bell. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's first and 10. Now they'll try the sweep with Bell. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Now the toss to Bell running right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He's had some big runs in this game. Not there, though.
But I don't think they're going to be deterred by that play right there. He's had some nice runs in the game. And how many times have we seen a good running back get stopped, yet turn it into something big on a later carry? I'd stay with him.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for...
You